is all about your portfolio analysis. Okay. Now, when I was talking about the portfolio analysis, we are discussing about the major component when the top management actually not only restricted to a particular product line, but they are actually concerned, or you could say associated, in order to take decisions, not about a particular product line, but all about the range of product that the company is offering in the market. Okay. For these reasons, basically portfolio analysis is nothing but integrated or overall or complete analysis of all the product and services that the company is offering in the market, whether it is profitable, not profitable, attractive, not attractive, or whatever decision the company has to take. In such a cases, they always need to design the strategies so that you would be able to earn best return out of it. Okay, for this particular purpose, we have a most important two study. That is, first is called BCG analysis, and second is called your GE business screen. Okay, so these two topics which you're gonna do cover up in this particular exam. So shall we start with the BCG matrices, please? Understood what is portfolio analysis first of all, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Dheeraj. So the next part we have, that is about the BCG matrices, which include called about your Boston Consulting Group growth share matrices. Now, what exactly the meaning of this particular, or what exactly the utility of this particular BCG growth share matrices? Basically, BCG growth share matrices suggest the company on two basic grounds. The first one is business growth rate, and second one is all about your competitive position of the company. Remember again two things: growth rate of the company and competitive position. Whenever we are comparing the organization on the basis of these two grounds, competitive position, we can share the market share and market growth. I'm repeating once again: market share and market growth. On these two grounds, whenever we are analyzing the company's position in the market, that particular analysis basically belongs to your BCG matrices. Okay. The BCG matrices basically, for example, when the particular company's market share and market growth, if it belongs to one, definitely the company is highly competitive in the market. Okay. In this case, it's very, very important that the matrix basically having certain assumptions. Okay. These assumptions basically talks about that whenever the company is basically keeping themselves attractive in the market, they always need to keep in mind how to maintain that balance of market share and market growth. How the company may become, you could say, competitive in the market for the longer period of time. For this particular purpose, the particular matrices is divided into four basic quadrants. Okay, let me show you that. Four basic quadrants. You can see that. Let me show you the diagram, I think, directly. This is the diagram, you can say. Okay. You can see that whenever this comes, I just show you how exactly this particular diagram will work. You can see that the first one, there are four quadrants: dog, cash cow, star, and question mark. Okay. Now, these four quadrants, as you can see right now on my screen, basically segregated by some commas, by lines as well. Okay. You can see that on x-axis, we have competitive position. On y-axis, we have business growth, or we can say growth percentage. Okay. Now you can see that we'll start with the question mark first of all. Okay. Question mark is basically a strategy where the company is having higher business growth rate, but the company's relative competitive position is very, very less, because business might be growing, but it is not recognized in the market. Are you getting my point, please? What is business growth and what is competitive position? The company's market share is very less, but business growth is very, very high. Now, business growth means what? We're talking about the sales turnover of the company. Okay, it is attractive, but it is limited to a particular locality. But when I'm talking about this particular competitive position, it is very, very less, because in comparison with the other competitor in the market, the company may not be that much attractive. Guys, please, it's clear or not? What is
Yes.
question mark strategy?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Question mark strategy, when I'm just, I think in detail it is given everything. I'll just, yeah, it is given that. The question mark strategy, when I'm just talking right now, it is also called the problem children, or it is also called wildcat. Okay. In this case, the most important part is that the company, you can see that, our new product with the potential for success. The product is new, and that's why we can see that the product is new. The growth is fine, growth is fantastic, the business is going really good, the product is demanded very, very good. But when it's compared to the position of that product in the market, it is not that attractive in comparison with the competitor. Okay. But they need a lot of cash for development. In such case, product is to gain enough market share to become a market leader. Thus, a star, money must be taken from more and mature product spent on this question mark. This is a fish or cut bad decision in which the management must decide if the business is worth the investment needed or not. Let me explain you exactly what exactly we're talking right now. For example, you have, like for example, we'll take one example directly. I think we talk about OnePlus. Okay, the OnePlus, once it was launched, it is highly competitive in the market. Like it was somehow, you could say, one of the mobile phone which is giving tough competition even to the Apple company. Okay, that particular product was in the question mark strategy, because whenever the product is launched in the market, it would always be under question mark strategy only. Because definitely product is new, people will demand it, people will purchase it, but whether that product will sustain in the market for long run or not, that is the question mark on the success of the product. Am I clear, please? The important part is that whether the OnePlus having that potential, that innovation, that creativity, that appeal to attract the customer for the next 10 years or 20 years. That is called the question mark strategy. I hope so I'm clear with this. The first point, question mark. You can see the theory part of that. It's clear, guys? Question mark strategy.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Next one now. First read it, I think. Second one is star strategy. Now, star, as you can see, that is the plus plus. The competitive position of the company is very, very high. You can see that. On company's growth rate is also very, very high. Now, you just read this particular paragraph first. Then we'll listen to the examples. They are the market leaders. They typically at the peak of their product life cycle and able to generate enough cash to maintain their high share of market and usually contribute to the company's profit. Because star is basically one of the stage where the companies is having win-win situation. They are the market leaders. They are the one who can set the tone in the market when it's come to demand, when it's come to the particular product offering in the market. Okay. Star is basically like, for example, initially, if you remember, I'll give an example for HP, Hewlett Packard. Okay. HP is one of the most prominent brand when it's come to laptops. Okay. But later on, you can see that there are a lot many companies have come up in the market, and now the HP is facing severe competition from Dell, from Lenovo, from Apple. This is basically the one of the stage where the star was. But make sure one thing, not only HP company, but even any company when I'm just talking about their products, if their product is basically reaching to the peak, reaching to the, you could say, the highest level of their demand in the market, that particular stage of product life cycle is called your star stage. And in the star stage, the company, if they want to sustain in the market for the long run, they need to innovate. They need to come up with the necessary changes to make themselves competitive. Like, for example, Maruti Suzuki Swift. Swift is basically one of the most demanded vehicle, I think, in the era of 2010 to 15. Later on, as you can see, that when the new brands, the foreign brands enter into the market, the Swift demand is considerably low in the market comparatively. But as the companies has come up with the innovation, some new changes in the Swift, in order to make the Swift in the star part, they need to innovate. They need to sustain their position in the market for the long run. So for that particular purpose, company must need to think differently, and they need to project their product in such a manner that it would be highly demanded in comparison with the competitors. I hope so example is clear.
So a small doubt in when it comes to stars, sir.
Please, Dheeraj.
Sir, will the investment be remain same always, sir?
See, investment may definitely it would be on the higher side when it's compared to the question mark. Or one more thing, the investment would be stagnant, but in question marks, the investment would be higher.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking.
Of risk. Yeah, with an exposure of risk. But when it's come to star, like for example, Apple we talk about. Apple, I think till 7 or till I think yes 8. Okay, Apple 8. The people get fed up because of that same feature, the same design of the Apple. Now the Apple has come up with the changes in iPhone 10 and iPhone 11 and 12. You can see right now. Okay, in order to sustain in the market, definitely they need to invest a very huge amount on the R&D, and that the company always do when they are in the star position. What the Maruti did actually, even by opening up the Nexa. Okay, question mark is basically a stage where the success of the company is in doubt. That's the reason the question mark actually. Because even though if you're investing in the company, it is not assured that the product would be touch star position or it may reach to dog position as well.
Yes, sir.
Clear, Dheeraj?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. I think so. It's clear, I think, everyone. The star part.
But the cash flow will be same only, no, sir?
No, cash flow would be higher in the case of stars. See, try to understand if the business growth rate is always high, definitely company is generating cash. But important thing is that whether you're competitive enough or not. In the question mark, you're not competitive enough. Means like, for example, let me, like when we discuss about this water purifier companies, you can see that the Aqua Sure or these are the first company, Eureka was the first company, or very few companies initially was there when you talk about water purifier. But later on, there are a range of companies come up. Okay, the Eureka Force was on the star till the moment when there were no companies. Then the Eureka Force basically coming up with their new innovation, could say year by year, to make themselves competitive. That's clear?
Yes.
Students, is clear, please?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now, when we discuss about the next part, that is about the cash cow. Now, cash cow is basically nothing but, you can see that, typically bring in the far more money than it needed, maintain their market share. It is declining stage of product life cycle. You remember introduction, maturity, growth. Sorry, growth, maturity. The maturity is basically stars. Okay. Introduction and growth becomes your question mark. Declining is basically your cash cow. I think you remember, I think we discussed in the marketing management about product life cycle, introduction, growth, maturity, and decline. Okay. That is basically part of your cash cow as well. When the particular product is in declining phase because of the severe competition from the other product, or the product may not be attractive enough in order to, you could say, entertain the customer. You can see that these products are milked for cash that will be invested in new question mark. Expenses such as advertisement R&D are used because that product was not highly demanded as of now. And you can see that the same case, I think, happened with Parle-G and Maggi, because their product was in declining stage. And then Maggi had come up with their new variants and new brands or new options in the market. When it's come to Atta Maggi and come to their ketchup, different masalas and everything. That is what the cash cow stage. Because company's image is very fantastic. That's the reason you can see that. The company's competitive position is good, but their growth rate of business growth is basically on the lower side, under cash cow. That's clear? Because try to understand, the product will move from question mark to star, from star to cash cow. It's important that it should not go to dog, because the dog is a position where the company's market share is very low and their business growth is also very low. Because from dog stage, Dog is basically nothing but the product is basically not at all demanded or very rarely demanded in the market. It's important that just to revise your position in the market from dog to question mark to star, because it's a circle actually talking right now. Question mark, then when the new product launch, it moved to star. When the product is reached to maturity, it declines, go to cash cow. Again, it's come like Apple example I've given it to you. Apple, because of its innovation in 10, 11, and 12, iPhone 12 I'm talking right now, with A1 for bionic chip and whatever the features they are giving in the mobile phone. Because of that, they're still in the star position. Okay. Like once the iPhone 14 will launch or whatever the different options that they're going to launch. In order to make your product sustain in the star for longer period of time, you need to invest a lot in your R&D and your advertisement expenses. Move to the dogs. Let's discuss last part and then I will discuss in detail as well. When we come to the last stage, that is about the dogs. Okay, dog, you can see that the low market share and do not have the potential because these industries now become unattractive. Okay, now in such a cases, you can see that dogs should be either sold off or managed carefully for small amount of cash they can generate. Like we talk about VCR, DVDs, what I can say. Yeah, like Orkut is again one of the example in this case. Okay, Yahoo is basically in the case of dogs only right now. Okay, because Gmail is basically dominant like anything. Okay, so these are the basic examples which we can cover up under this particular case of BCG Matrix. An important thing is that in order to analyze your business portfolio, not talking about a single product, portfolio, you always need to go for BCG matrices analysis. I hope so, guys. It's clear to everyone.
Yes, sir.
Any particular doubt?
So the only thing I still have a doubt is that cash flow will be neutral. Can I give an explanation, sir?
Yes, Dheeraj, please.
So because Star itself is an SBU which has high market share in fast-growing industry, actually.
Mm-hmm.
So they will to maintain their part of share, they need heavy investment.
Yes, yes.
So their earnings will be higher. It keeps increasing, but the percentage of cash flow in compared to the investment will remain same.
Percentage of cash flow when it comes to investment.
Yeah.
Cash flow means cash inflow you're talking right now.
Sorry, sir?
Cash flow means cash inflow you're talking right now.
Yeah.
See, what Dheeraj, we always like when discuss about the ROI concept right now, return on investments. Okay. Definitely in the question mark stage, the company will always take some cautious step whether the product would be demanded or would be successful in the market or not. And that's the reason that the stage is called a question mark. Okay. Now it's up to the company's, you could say, will or company's perspective whether they want to invest more in order to make that particular product. Now, when we're talking investment more, we're talking about R&D investment and advertisement expenses. Okay. As you can see that the higher the marketability of the product, definitely better would be the reach and recognition of the product in the market. Like what the Byju's did in this particular pandemic. Okay. They have actually captured almost like Zoom we talk about, how the Zoom was in the stage of question mark, I think before pandemic. But suddenly the Zoom and other application moved to the stars and now they are actually continuously upgrading, innovating and giving the most user-friendly application or user-friendly environment to the customers or to the clients, we can say. Okay, so in that case, you can see that Dheeraj try to understand ROI concept is there. For example, if I'm investing 20%, what I did in the question mark, the returns maybe 40%, 50%, but it was comparatively high when it's come to question mark stage.
Okay, sir.
I hope so Dheeraj understood this part.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Thank you so much. Any other query, please? I hope so. Portfolio analysis is simple. What exactly we're talking right now, and BCG matrices in one of the most important component. It's clear, guys? This diagram is clear.
Yes, sir.
Okay.